Did you know that some of the wealthiest families built their fortunes using other people's money? In today's video, we'll show you how to do it too. We will look at how you can build generational wealth using borrowed money effectively and responsibly. We'll break down key strategies, share real-life examples, and provide practical tips to help you leverage debt to secure your family's financial future. Keep watching. Number 1. Understanding generational wealth. When you hear the term generational wealth, what's the first thing that comes to mind? You're probably thinking of something worth billions. But here's the deal, despite the amount, generational wealth refers to anything that has monetary value and that has been passed down from one generation to the next. It doesn't necessarily have to be money saved in the bank. It could be assets, bonds, or even stocks. It's a move you make to ensure financial security for your descendants. If you came from nothing, worked on yourself, and built something worthwhile, then you probably know what it feels like to be poor, and you definitely don't want your family to go through the same challenges you did. Ending the cycle of poverty is one of the biggest perks that come with making that much money while you're alive. But don't think that being a pace-setter means your descendants are secure forever. Even if you're into the oil business, a couple of bad decisions from your grandkids can ruin your life's work. Interestingly, we've learned that most of the time, generational wealth usually ends by the time it gets to the fourth generation. There's something called the 3-generation rule. It states that 60% of wealth transfers are lost by the second generation, and 90% by the third. Only 10% of wealth passes beyond the third generation. Now, this isn't entirely the fault of the people spending the money. A lot can change in the economy within that time frame. However, if everything is done right, there's also a good chance that the sacrifices you make can affect many lives that come after you. R.K. Narayan says money is like a tree. It grows and provides shade for generations if nurtured properly. Number 2. The concept of borrowing money to create wealth. The financial plans our parents made years ago involved going to college, graduating, and getting a good job. They had clear goals for wealth. But that wealth would only come after about 40 to 50 years when they have limited time to enjoy it. There's a much faster way to build wealth, and that's by borrowing money. And I'm not talking about the money you need for capital to start your business. This is a different kind. It's something many Fortune 500 companies have used in the past and are still using. But let's start by making things clear. There are 2 types of debt, good debt and bad debt. The difference lies in how each of them is being used. Good debt is an investment that will grow in value or generate long-term income, while bad debt depreciates in value and doesn't generate income. The money you get from credit card loans is an example of bad debt. If you don't keep that kind of debt in check, you'll suffer in the long run. But let's turn our focus to good debt. There are so many things you can invest in to help you generate passive income. And you honestly don't have to rush into things. You can start by investing in yourself and getting an education loan for a high ROI degree. You can also borrow money for real estate investments, business loans, and even Forex. As a hustler that's trying to level up, you clearly don't have the money you need. So the only way to make your journey to bagging money quicker and easier is by giving yourself an edge. Yes, I know we talked about avoiding debt traps in a previous video, but this is very different. Number 3. Strategies to build wealth using borrowed money. There are so many strategies to build wealth using borrowed money, and we can't talk about all of them. But in this video, I'll tell you about a tested and trusted way to make money. The number 1 strategy on the list is real estate. There are many successful people who don't hesitate to preach this doctrine whenever they can. Marshall Field even said, "Buying real estate is not only the best way, the quickest way, the safest way, but the only way to become wealthy." It's such a powerful way to build generational wealth due to its tax advantages and the ability to leverage property value increases. Mortgages provide tax deductions that reduce taxable income, which simply means that you make more money at the end of the day. For instance, let's say you have $200,000 saved up. You can secure a mortgage for a $500,000 property, renovate it, and refinance based on its increased value. Now that you've worked on it, the building is definitely going to be worth more than it was. This can yield a profit and generate rental income while building equity. If you had any doubts about borrowing money before, this should be enough to make you reconsider things, but if it still won't do, I'll talk about another way you can use debt to work in your favor. The second strategy is hedge funds. There is a reason why the rich will always get richer and the poor might keep on being poor. It's because they don't have access to the same opportunities, and even if they do, some less privileged individuals don't even know about them. Hedge funds are an example. They are designed by the wealthy to further increase their wealth through unconventional strategies. The average guy would rather invest in a business he thinks will grow well, but unlike typical investors, hedge funds frequently profit from declines in company values. The strategy is called short selling. It's a very fascinating concept, but don't be too surprised. You can borrow a stock that is expected to decline in value, go on to sell it at the current high price, and later repurchase it at a lower price to return to the lender, pocketing the difference. For example, if a hedge fund predicts a big franchise's stock will drop due to news about some scandal, they might borrow their shares at $200 each, sell them, and then buy them back at $50 after the price drops, netting a $150 profit per share. It sounds so simple in theory, but don't think it's that easy in real life. Short selling can be very risky. If things don't go as planned and the stock price unexpectedly rises, the losses can be unlimited since the fund must buy back the stock at a higher price to return it to the lender. However, there's a way to avoid surprises like this. Hedge funds can just employ teams of analysts to increase the likelihood of successful predictions, thus generating significant profits and building generational wealth for their investors. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos.